Derek Mcinnes has said that Hearts have a lot of making up to do to the fans, and how does he plan on doing it? Well, he wants to take the club to a cup final and grab a European spot this season in the league. Welcome back, guys, to Son of Scotland TV. League campaign is only a few days away. I cannot wait. Scottish football is almost back, and Derek Mcinnes is back with another interesting take before the start of the season, because he's come out and he's claimed that Hearts owe the fans, and I'm not disputing that, because last season was really bad, but Derek Mcinnes is pretty much saying that he's going to be the one to pay back the fans, even though he's just in the door, even though he might think he doesn't really owe the fans anything. He thinks there's a lot of making up to do, and he plans on being the one to do it this season, as he wants a cup final and a European spot. Now, before we get into what Derek Mcinnes actually said, for me, a European spot should be the minimum, whether we need to make it up to the fans or not. Hearts are too good to be finishing outside of the top 5. If you want to get technical and say that only top 4 guarantees European football, then yeah, even top 4. I don't think Hearts should be finishing outside of the top 4. So, for me, a European spot, if we finished 4th this season, I wouldn't consider that making up to the fans, because I think that's kind of the bare minimum that we should be in the league. As for a cup final, we should get to more cup finals than we currently do. Now, yeah, there was that period where we got to, 3 out of 4 cup finals, and we lost them all to Celtic, and then we got to one against Rangers not that long ago either. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say that Hearts don't get to enough cup finals, because I think we do. You know, I think our record at getting to Hampden is decent. My problem is winning. We don't win enough cups. Definitely not. So we need to win more cups, and hopefully Derek Mcinnes can be the man. And I think he will be, because I've actually predicted him to actually win the Premier Sports Cup. But anyway, what did Mcinnes have to say after winning 4 out of 4 games in the Premier Sports Cup? He said the following, quote, "As a club, we never really got to what we wanted. It was obviously the extra demand of European football, but domestically, not to get to the cup final and not even get top 6, we've got a lot to make up for last season. We're going into the campaign. If we do our work right at Hearts, utilise the budget that's afforded to us, you get a bit of fortune, as every team needs. We'd like to think that we can be searching and striving for European football in among those places, and to try and get to Hampden. It's 90 minutes away from lifting silverware. That's going to be the aim." End of quote. So yeah, Mcinnes reflecting on last year, simply not being good enough, not getting top 6, and it just wasn't. I mean, it wasn't good enough, and he knows that. It wasn't his fault, he wasn't here, but he will know that there's pressure on him because of the previous failure of the last boss, Neil Critchley, and the guy before him, Naismith. So, yeah, 100%. It's good to see Mcinnes coming out and saying this, that he's setting himself a target for a cup final and European spots. Because, I mean, he could come out and play it down and say it's his first season and not get carried away. But I like the fact he's coming out and he's setting himself, you know, a decent target. And I think that would be decent. If we do get to a cup final and we do get ourselves back into Europe with like a 3rd or 4th place finish, then that would be, in my opinion, a pretty successful season. But he also added, quote, "We're not here to mess about. We're not going to shout our mouths off saying we're going to do this and we're going to do that. On the back of last season, there's work to be done. We're riding a wee wave of optimism at the minute. There's a lot of encouragement. There's a lot of feel-good factor, a lot of hope for something better this season." End of quote. So obviously he's talking about the Premier Sports Cup, the fact that they've won 4 out of 4. They've also looked good in the friendlies, the Sunderland testimonial game. So yeah, look, there is a feel-good factor at the moment, and it's not just the winning games and the group stage of the Premier Sports Cup, it's also the signings. You know, Hearts have made a lot of signings this season, and from what we've seen so far, they actually look to be good signings. So there is a wave of optimism right now going around Hearts, going around Tynecastle, and I'm hoping that optimism hopefully it's justified that we start the season well in the league campaign, and we got off to a good start, and that's going to be crucial. The pressure, if Mcinnes can get off to get a couple of wins in his first game, and that Aberdeen game is going to be a big game because obviously it's his former club, and it's one of the teams that we'd be expecting to be competing against for the European spot. So look, if he can win that game and maybe get a couple of wins on the board, get off to like 6 out of 6 points or 9 out of 9 points, then that's going to take a lot of pressure off him, and the optimism's just going to build and build and build, and I mean that's what we need. But if we go into the season and we don't go off to a great start, let's say we lose the opening game to Aberdeen, and then we have the Premier Sports Cup last 16 tie against St Mirren, that's a difficult trip to Paisley, man. That's a game that we could lose as well. So it's been good so far in the Premier Sports Cup, but it doesn't really mean anything as of yet. The only thing that really is important in the Premier Sports Cup is getting through, getting out the groups, and we've done that. But now we need to kick on, and we need to, this good form that we've got, this optimism that we currently have, we need to show that in the league. We need to show that in the last 16 against St Mirren, and then hopefully we can see something that we have and we can build on it for the upcoming season. So look, I appreciate it. McKinn's coming out and he's setting a marker down, and he's been optimistic, but yeah, right now we haven't really done anything. We've just beat a couple of teams that we should be beating in the group stage. So yeah, let's wait and see how we get on in the first game of the season, how we get on against St Mirren, and then we can truly judge, just where we are as a club and as a team and as a squad. So anyway, guys, that's it. Let's know your thoughts. Do you think that's a good target? A cup final and a European finish? I would take it. Will we get it though? I mean, who knows? Although what I would much prefer over a cup final is a cup win. We've had a lot of cup finals. We haven't had many cup wins. That kind of needs to change. Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.